Welcome to Chamber Connection. I am Mary Hodson, President of the Chamber of Commerce, and I am so glad that you are here today joining us once again. We're back on schedule, and today I have with me a familiar face, Miranda Piepenberg, who is our Member Support Coordinator. Thanks for taking the time to be here with me.
Of course.
I know it was really hard to get away from the office. Your boss makes it really difficult, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hey, so today we're going to talk about membership for the chamber, right? We talk about so many other things in the community, but we really want to talk about why it's important for businesses to be part of the chamber.
Well, when we talked about goals and looking forward to 2024, we talked about this being the year of the member, just because there are so many important things coming up. And so, we wanted to let our members know why a membership matters and why we're there for them. And
it's always interesting to me. People go, how many businesses are in Hutchinson? We really don't know. There's not like a list of them. They don't have to get a permit from the city or anything like that for us to have a nice list. And so we do have over 300 members of the chamber. So businesses, nonprofit organizations,
individuals.
We have some individuals who are members. And so it's an opportunity for us to just share with people what we do, because maybe you in the audience are a business, or maybe you know somebody who has a business who could really benefit from some of the things that we do. So let's just talk about what it means to be a chamber member.
So as a chamber member, our job, our mission is to support, promote, and engage their business in the community. So not only do we want their business to thrive, but we want them to interact with our community as well, so that the community knows them, knows that they're here. So we are essentially their cheerleader. We are our business's cheerleaders in whatever they're going through or whatever they have going on.
So definitely advocates for business, and we'll talk about advocation in a little bit. I was just thinking about this morning, we had a new ambassador, and as we were going around the room and introducing ourselves and talking about a good thing, we were all talking about, we're trying to be more positive. What's a good thing that's going on right now? Because if you ask somebody in certain industries, right, rates, blah, 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 right? But he said, this is why I wanted to be an ambassador and get more involved, so I know what's happening, and I connect my business and my employees to what's happening. And I thought that was a really good way to explain to be involved.
The networking piece.
Oh, for sure.
So yes, you may have lived here your whole life and grew up with some of the other business people in town, but how many times are you going to be in the same room as 300 other business owners? Like, there's opportunities to be in the same room with people you would never,
otherwise be around, right?
Not the same industry. They may not be something that you would ever walk into their store, but that's the biggest part. I think one of the biggest parts is the networking piece. Like, you have access as a member to all of our member businesses, and we have ways to connect you.
So if we're talking to somebody potentially who hasn't been exposed to the chamber, but they have a business, and maybe it's a new business, or maybe it's a business that's been around for a long time. You and I talk all the time like, I didn't know that business was here. Right? We don't even always know. People don't come to the door and go, hi, I want to be a business here. Can I sign up? It doesn't happen that way. What would you tell somebody who is hearing about us for the first time?
Again, it's that cheerleader piece. It's the networking. We're advocates for your business. We're not just your cheerleader. We're going to help stand up for you. And as we're members of the Minnesota Chamber, that we see the things coming down from, the legislative point of view. And so Mary's really good about sharing that information and getting that out to businesses about, this is what's coming next. We want to help you be prepared. So I think you can speak more to that than I can.
Sure. So on the advocacy side, like you said, we align very closely with the Minnesota Chamber. We're members of the Minnesota Chamber, but we're not under their business umbrella.
Right.
And
Nope.
people don't always understand that, nor are we under the umbrella of the U.S. Chamber. Those are separate entities from us. But we do have a really good working relationship with the Minnesota Chamber. And I think that part of that big, huge value is the advocacy piece. So you mentioned the legislative changes, and we do have a number of changes that have happened this past year that really do affect businesses and their bottom line.
Right.
So we just saw that this morning with a bill that came through. So helping businesses understand what the legal steps are to be in compliance with that, what happens if you're not in compliance with certain regulations, what can happen. And we know that there's more coming.
Right.
So when we're able to take really great information from the state chamber and be able to pass it through to others and make sure that they have webinars on demand and live webinars available to them to learn more specifically about these topics. We saw last fall a lot of people using the opportunities that we were pushing out on Earn Sick and Safe Time.
Right.
And if you're not familiar with Earn Sick and Safe Time, it is something that came through the Minnesota legislation that every business has to provide sick and safe time to every employee, no matter their status with you.
Or size, or whether you have one employee or 300 employees, it doesn't matter.
Right. So everyone is affected by this, part-time, full-time, seasonal, and those are the things that become challenges, especially for our small and mid-sized businesses. Now, when we think about small business, we're thinking 10 people. Medium might be that 40 to 60, 75. The actual small business definition on the federal level is 500 or less.
That's insane.
But we know that we have very large corporations in our entire United States. But for us, when we're talking about small businesses, we're really talking about small businesses that know everybody, know all their family names, know all the things, right? So that's really important to us because when we align with their session priorities, which this year it is restore the balance.
Yep.
Because things might have tipped a little bit awkwardly last year. We're trying to restore that balance. And so literally, I am talking to legislators, going to the Capitol, talking about how can we work together to try to help restore some of that balance for businesses. And that's not saying, as you well know, that we think that Earn Sick and Safe Time is bad.
No.
We know that there are a lot of people that work really hard, full-time jobs and plus, and don't have any PTO. Basically, we're talking about paid time off.
Right.
And so this is an opportunity. However, it just doesn't align with some of the other opportunities that businesses have, and we're just hoping to, again, restore that balance. So great point.
Right. Yep. And then the other thing was SCORE.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
So you know that SCORE is a great mentor-mentee matching program, and it's throughout the United States. So it's actually a program that was set up by the SBA, which is the Small Business Administration, and they wanted to make sure that there was a way that small businesses could survive. And survivability is based on business plan, working your plan, having the plan, but also mentoring. And so they have found that with consistent mentoring, people are more likely to succeed. Mentors can sign up if they have an industry that they're just very passionate about, or if they have a skill set that they're really strong in. And then a mentee, maybe it's somebody considering opening a business, a new entrepreneur, or maybe somebody who's just been open for like 4 to 5 years, right? You're still getting your feet under you, right? And so they can be matched with somebody. Maybe they're like, I really want to talk to somebody who, we did actually have somebody a couple years ago that we helped even before we were part of SCORE as a match to, they were interested in doing in-house distillery, but not having a storefront. And so how do I get connected to somebody who's done that, right? They want to be the manufacturer, but not all the other fancy,
Pieces.
right? Not a storefront. And so we were able to connect them to SCORE in the Twin Cities. And that's kind of how we started the conversation. Someone also might say, you know what, I need help with QuickBooks. Is there a mentor who's just really good at QuickBooks that I can connect with? And for mentors, we're talking about an hour a month. We're not talking about hours upon hours.
So it's not a big commitment.
It's not a huge commitment, but it's a really meaningful one.
Right.
And there's really good training for mentors. So you're not going to sit down and shoot the bull for an hour. They have a very prescribed, almost a script, if you will. It's kind of a schedule of your meetings that you go through. So you stay on task. And maybe you and I need that together when we sit down and start talking. But it's very prescribed, and it works really well and has been very successful. So we're very fortunate to be a SCORE branch, and I'm considered a SCORE branch manager, part of the Twin Cities piece. So they have a chapter, and we're a branch of that.
So when somebody calls the office or if somebody asks about it, how do we get them that information then?
Right. So we've got some great brochures that we can give, and we've actually offered them also to our financial institutions. So if you're going and talking to a banker or somebody, they can help you with that. And then it's really simply going online and saying, going to score.org and then putting in, I'm interested in being a mentor, I'm interested in being a mentee and getting a mentor. So it's really simple to do. You do go through some steps, but it's simple. It's not really arduous in any way.
That's great.
Yeah. So of course, we're about workforce. So the things that we're tapping into are about making our businesses healthy and our workforce strong. And this is just another opportunity to do that. It's why we're part of childcare. Right?
Yeah.
Because that's part of a workforce. That's really important to us. And helping our businesses understand earn sick and safe time, understand paid family and medical leave that's coming, understanding some of those requirements is really at the core of what we do to keep everybody going, right?
Yeah. Yep. And like you said earlier, I mean, we have things for an individual. Like if you're just one community member and you just want to be a part of everything that's coming down the line and you want to understand, we have everything from basic, like I just want to be a part of it, to network, up to the I want to be in everything. So there's something for everybody.
For sure. And I think too that we have some businesses that are a national corporation and they just don't allow chamber memberships because where do you draw the line, right? And people would probably be surprised at some of them that are part of the chamber, right? We talk about that all the time. But maybe you want to be involved, and that individual membership is really an easy way and an inexpensive way to be part of what's happening and understand and hear what's going on in the community. And like you said, we have a variety of levels for businesses so they can pick and choose and really customize what's best for them and their needs.
Right. Yes.
So there's a portal, right? Every business has a portal.
Yeah.
So you want to talk about that and what that I always think of a portal, right? It leads you into so much more.
Yeah. So based on your membership, you either have the basic package where it lists your business, where you're located, and a short little message about what you do. And then we have the gold package, and it extends more and more as you go up in the tiers. But based on your level, like your exposure just grows. So when you go up to a certain level, you can add photos. So maybe if you're in construction, you're adding photos of projects or things of that nature. Or if you're a clinic, personal health care clinic, you're adding photos of the services you offer. So there's just many different levels. So based on those levels, your portal gives out information. So
yeah, if you're looking around at explorehutchinson.com, you can look at find a business and you can kind of see that they look a little bit different depending on what level they have. I love that businesses can post jobs. They can post volunteer opportunities, which some of our organizations take advantage of.
Yep.
They can do their press releases, their news releases, and
deals.
Hot deals.
Yep.
Love hot deals, especially during like crazy days and Small
Yep.
Business Saturday. That's really popular. So I love that they can do everything right there for themselves. But you help a lot of people walk through that process.
Yeah, a lot of people just don't understand what their portal does for them. So just having them call and say, I don't know how to do this. It's pretty easy to just say, okay, well, this is how you set it up. I'll send you some instructions. That's the nice thing too. We do have instructions for all of those back end processes. And when it comes to the portal, everybody Googles businesses now. And I will tell you the amount of phone calls that we get from people thinking that our phone number is the business's phone number is astronomical. But that's a good thing because that means that our chamber members are getting that exposure and people are Googling, and the first hit that comes up is their chamber web portal.
Yeah.
So if that tells anybody how important that chamber web portal is,
We're cool that way.
Yeah.
Right?
So
yeah, for sure. I love the fact that we have really made it a simple process to become members. Let's just talk about that. Somebody says, you know what, I saw you on TV and I want to become a member. What do they have to do?
literally they can call and I can either send them a link to the online application, or I can send them and email them a PDF to fill out, print out, and send in. We do have a new join member promo right now. There's when you sign up to be a member before the end of February, we do have a few options that they could choose free from.
So they can choose some stuff. So that's really nice to be able to have. Also, we do have a lot of programs that they can be involved with as well as events.
Right. So we have childcare, we have agribusiness. They could be an ambassador. As long as you're a chamber member, you can send somebody from your business to be an ambassador, which
is such great exposure.
Yeah. So the ambassadors, for those of you that don't know, are the welcoming arm of the chamber. So they go out when we do a ribbon cutting and say, welcome, like, this is who I am. And it's nice for the new business owner or whoever moved to see those faces and say, okay, well, you're a banker and you work for the electric company. So it's nice to put faces to jobs.
For sure. Of course, we've talked about leadership here before, and the proven effect of having a leadership program in our community. But that also along with things like the Arts and Crafts Festival. 50th!
Big 50
the
this
big 50
year.
this year.
Yep.
We're excited about the 50th anniversary of the Arts and Crafts Festival. We tag on with the ambassadors who host Taste of Hutchinson.
Yep.
Those are all opportunities to sponsor and have your name attached to another event or another opportunity that the public will see your name.
Right.
Right?
Right. And that's a big one. The Arts and Crafts Festival brings in over 12,000 people. So not only are you being exposed to those local shoppers, but you're being exposed to vendors and shoppers from not only the state, but all over the country.
Yeah. We have people who call over the country. Okay, so just thinking about people who call from other places for things that happen in Hutchinson. Citywide garage sales.
Yep. We start getting those phone calls in January and they don't stop until after September.
Yeah. And there are people calling from other states.
Yeah.
That want to know about our garage sales. So I'm just saying.
I'm calling from Illinois. Is your garage sale weekend still the first weekend in May?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So before we wrap up here, so 60% of the work that we do is at the chamber office, right?
Yep.
We are not event planners. I mean, we plan events, but that's not our main job. And I think that most people don't realize that. They think that we're just planning all the events in the community. No, we're not. We're not. No, we're supporting those events in several different ways with our tourism grant and going and volunteering and things like that. But we are not planning all of them. 30% of the work we do is tourism.
Yeah.
So doing a lot of marketing to bring people to Hutchinson.
And we do have people who come into our office. We're looking to move here, or we're looking to vacation here next summer. Can you tell us where to stay, what to do? There's women's groups who call and say, we want to come here this weekend of the year. What's going on? And that's the nice thing about our community calendar too.
Yeah. And that's why it's so important for everybody to go on. You don't have to be a chamber member to use our community calendar.
No.
And I think a lot of people don't realize that either. And you can literally go onto the website and click community calendar, look for the plus sign.
Yeah, submit an event.
And then put your event in there. And as long as it's in Hutchinson,
It's free.
It's free. It's a free opportunity. So we are on social media a lot. So if we see something, like I just sent somebody today a message and said, it would be great if you would put this on the community calendar so other people know about it, not just here, but there as well. So
yeah, we try to, whenever we see something, we try to say, hey, make sure to.
Yeah. And it's just a great way to stay in touch with the community and to know what was going on, because really there is much in Hutch. And we're a big enough community now that it's hard to keep track of everything that's happening.
Right, yeah. And starting, April, May, things start to ramp up.
Ramp up, yep. Just some dates, speaking of that, to put on your calendar. The official start of summer in Hutchinson is Dairy Day on June 7th. And, we used to call it the unofficial start. And then we just said, nah, it's the official start, because we can.
Yeah.
That's the way it works. So if you have more questions about being a member, Miranda and I are happy to talk with you. We can come to a business. We can have a business come to us, whatever works best for them.
Yep.
Interesting enough, not all of our chamber members are in Hutchinson.
Right.
We have several different communities that are represented by the Hutchinson Area Chamber.
Yes.
So that's also an interesting fun fact, I think.
Yeah, you don't have to be a business in Hutchinson.
If you do business within Hutchinson,
right.
That's the biggest piece of that. Great. So if you have any questions, you can call us at 587-5252. You can go to explorehutchinson.com and learn more about what we do there. If you are visiting or having somebody visit, have them go to that website, because you can do Visit Hutchinson, and there's a lot of information there. And we have links to a lot of community resources that everyone can use.
Yeah.
Last thoughts about membership.
It should be an easy add to cart kind of thing.
Yeah.
We just want what's best for our community and the businesses in our community, and we want everyone to succeed and thrive. And not that you're not succeeding and thriving if you're not part of the chamber, but we want to help you get connected to all the resources that are possible.
And there's going to be a lot of resources coming down the pipe real soon.
Yep.
Yeah. Great. Thank you again for being here today.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. I appreciate you. And I hope that you will come back and see us again next month. We appreciate you. And again, if you have more questions, go to explorehutchinson.com, or you can call us at 587-5252. We will answer the phone with a smile and help you however we can. Until later, thanks for being here.